Rob said, my name's Rob Dias. I'm originally from Somerset, Massachusetts, about an hour south of Boston, right near Fall River. Jerry Remy's from my hometown. So I've been pretty much legally blind my whole life. Wasn't officially diagnosed as legally blind until, I don't know, maybe I was 10 or 11, but I've always had limited vision. Went to a regular high school, had some basic, accommodations, logic stuff. I couldn't play team sports, so I wrestled, during high school. I was captain of my wrestling team my senior year. Then I did some judo, didn't go to college, took some time off, was on disability for a while. And then around 2004, I went to massage school. I got my license in massage therapy, worked as a therapist for a couple of years. And then I was kind of struggling at work, not being able to see files and things like that, even with like the 20/20 pen. So I went to the Carroll Center for the Blind. That's where I learned Braille and learned how to use a cane and become more independent. And that's when I was first exposed to beat baseball. Evan Silver at the time was working at the Carroll Center and he was on the team. So the way my 12 weeks at the Carroll Center went, I did 4 weeks before the summer, and then I took the summer off and did my 8 weeks afterwards. So whatever it was in 2007, I think there was a game here. I don't know if it was an official game or a scrimmage game.
Yeah, we played Philadelphia.
Yeah. So I came here and I checked it out, and I of course didn't talk to anyone here. I just kind of showed up and whatever, and I was still living like an hour away, so I was kind of like, well, if I can ever get to the city, I'll give this a try. And then from there I got a job in Boston, worked there for a couple of years, and then moved up to the city. And then one faithful day after work, I was shopping at Macy's, and all of a sudden Grillo comes up to me and he sees my cane and he's like, "Hey, you look like he's like, you look like I see your cane, you look pretty athletic." And he's like, "Have you ever heard of the Renegades?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I have." And I told him I knew Evan, and so he encouraged me to check out a practice, and we exchanged numbers or emails or whatever it was. And then I looked up the Renegades. This was in 2014. I had moved into the city a couple years before, but I never reached out. And then I did some research. I realized that John Oliveira was the president of ACB, and I knew John both as a consumer, as MCB, and professionally. I work for the state, and we've done some stuff. So I had Brian's email, and then I saw John in my building. I started talking to John. I'm like, "Hey, what's the deal with this beat baseball thing? I didn't realize you had a connection." He's like, "Oh yeah." He's like, I never even thought to even ask you. Like, you'd be perfect for it." And I said, "Yeah, I met one of the coaches, and I said Brian's name wrong." And he's like, "I have no clue who that is." Whatever it was, I got the wrong last name. I'm like, "Oh, who's this Brian dude now? Like, I have no clue. Like, is this guy legit or not? Is he trying to tell me about Jesus or whatever is going to happen, or kidnap me or something?" So anyway, I checked out a practice. I got in contact with Rob, and I talked to Evan, and I showed up, to a practice, and I've been to every single one except for 4 over the past, 6 years. So, I loved it. I still love it. It's great. We got a great group of guys and gals and volunteers, and so it's super fun. So I'm super psyched that we got a bunch of new players this year, and hopefully you guys like it as much as we do. And it is tough. It sounds like BS a lot, especially when Rob is saying how important stretching is and how grueling the World Series is, even though we're not going this year. But just think about how you feel tomorrow morning when you wake up and you're sore, and picture going back on the field that day, waking up in the morning. So yeah, things have been great.